We are a nation that no longer has a free and fair press.
Hey, guess what? We've got a bunch of people out there that is making false accusations, and their imagination has gone away with them. I love it, and I'll tell you why. Okay? Now, a lot of you don't know it or don't remember it, but about approximately a year ago, we had a gentleman by the name of, what is it? FTP, Fuck the Police. He's really good friends with 303. Let's see here. Fuck the Police. And he is extremely good friends with 303 and Liberty Bird. Now, about the same time, Liberty Bird's wife and children left them. Wait a minute. You mean they left? Yeah, they left. Such a wonderful man, such a wonderful, upright man. His wife left him and his child left him. And then on the other side of that, we have 303 with his children going over and visiting him constantly. Okay, so exactly what was happening there? Well, if we listen to them, they're all bent, out of shape over somebody that has done no harm. They are desperate in order to sit there and find something in order to blame, redirect. Let me see, any other good words that we can use here? Of course there is. Outright lie. But, you know, this is not normal type of communication here. This is actually balls to the balls, the bang, bang. I mean, these people have gone and lost their mind. They think they can sit there and direct the police. They think they can presume or outright lie about people, trying to kidnap their children, and it's everyone else that's against them. And what would bring on that type of behavior? Well, I can think of a few things. One, maybe Bird 303 and Fuck the Police were having orgies at their house. You know what? It's long past the 70s, folks. Orgies are the thing. Remember, you know, they had orgies. And, you know, I'm terribly sorry, man, but, you know, with 303 not having any teeth, I bet you know, being gay, okay, or a bisexual or trisexual, whatever it may be, he probably benefits a lot by not having any teeth. You know, someone would give him definitely a 4-star review, right? So we have people out here that are sick people. They think everyone else is sick like them. Yeah, that's right, sick like them. But where did this just come from? Let's find out. The reason why this is being brought up is because Mr. Psyop here, he did have children. He had children in his house. He had FTP and his friends and his daughter, which was being molested in his house. We have 303 with the younger child. Oh, wait a minute. Were they younger than FTP's children? And yet we have people like Detective Gomez. Ooh, the bubble machine man. Okay, the bubbler. Okay. Yeah, that's right. The fart in the bathtub. We have him, which has turned out to be quite a sick person. He pretends to have virtue. But you see, Detective Gomez is out there. Oh, yeah. He's a wonderful yes man for these people. The sick, deprived individual that is self-proclaimed to be going against the dark sides of the world, the devil himself. Okay. I'm sorry, the rest of us have to deal with the devil, don't we? We don't sit there and get so entrenched into our mental state that everything else, is dropped by that. But what's really interesting is the fact that these guys are carrying on, claiming, oh, he doesn't know what's coming. To me, I don't know what's coming. I know what's coming. Justice is coming, and it's not coming for me. You see, I'd actually have to do something wrong at least you would think, I would actually have to do something wrong before the police got involved. Oh, but the police are involved. Why? Because someone else has. And man, they are scared of that. They are running to the hills. They want to sit there, and anyone that could possibly be close enough or observe them or figure it out, even if you're in New York, figure out how these guys have sexualized and possibly abused their children. Meanwhile, guess what? Old Bird here has sexualized the children. Why? He's claiming that without alteration, without anything else, that someone actually just puts up his video or his picture or the pictures that he released to the public. Just simply because it's them, they sexualized it. You know what? I don't have any of those pictures. I don't care. That's your problem. You want to sit there and be so scared that everybody, including me, is going to be the ones putting you in jail? You are so fucking scared that it's not even funny. Listen to this shit.
The innocent photos of my children were absolutely public, all the way up until the point that you decided to turn them into child pornography.
Really? Where's the pornography at, dude? Oh, yeah. You forgot to get actual photos of your oh, wait a minute. Do you have children? Children of yours as sexualized? Is that what you're saying? Because the only thing, I'm sure that I didn't take the photographs. I'm sure that Tyrant Wars didn't take the photographs. Who took the photographs? Daddy! Well, Daddy, what you doing taking photographs of your children like that? You know, I could sit there and just with that one sentence end this right here. Listen to that. Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear this?
That can actually make those rules. But for law officials, public officials, you can't do anything. It's public. We're sharing it. Just like they share your fucking salary. We know you don't like that, but they do it. He's the one that goes after all you cops and all that. And then at the end now, he's coming to cry to y'all because someone is reversing it on them, making them feel what they try to make you feel.
And that's funny because I've never done anything that even equates to what you have just done. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Who took the photographs? Daddy? Are you saying that somehow you took photographs and Tyrant Wars got a hold of them? It's exactly what you said.
Like nowhere close. And you said you'd take it further than I ever would. But as I expressed before, if you're going to take it farther than I do, chances are you're walking into criminality.
Yeah, well, you've already walked into criminality if you've got photos like that of your children. Now, what's interesting, let me go ahead and bring up this page here. And it's not actually interesting, it's very telling is what it is. These guys have gone out, committed their crimes, okay? And now they're going to have to live with it. But they don't understand they're going to have to live with it. I don't have to live with their crimes. They do. So here we have speculation in the chat. I love when people think they have a right to do things on privately owned platforms. That's what private is, dude. Okay? Especially when the content they don't own. You want to know something? You made it public. It's public material. It's owned by the public. Oops. Did you take sexual pictures of your child, dude? Okay, and then if the rodent has pictures on his computer from women with the college, he might be fooked. That's Detective Gomez. I'm terribly sorry, but most people that go to college are over the age of 18, and if I'm taking any pictures of any partners that I have, that's my business. I don't make them public. And besides that, I'm not that kind of a person to sit there and, imagine all these things actually happening and then salivating over the fact that, oh my God, did you see that girl? I hope that somebody else has a picture of her. Are you kidding me? You guys are so transparent for being sickos. If the rodent has pictures on his computer from women from the college, he might be fucked. Really? I don't know that he has limited distance from kids outside of schools, not sure. I don't have any distances, stupid. You see, that's what happens when you falsify things. You got to falsify other things. Like, well, he can't be here, or you can't take photographs here, right? So you got to falsify your beliefs, right? Here, let's go on here. Let's get into these chats a little bit. I'm wondering if the DOJ doesn't do something about the clown. They may be part of it. Detective Gomez again, our hot tub bubbler. Okay, well, the last time I've seen anything bubble like that, it came out of a fucking pipe. Okay, I don't know what the hell this guy's on. Okay. One call to the FBI Cybercrimes Division with the emphasis on, well, Brian King. Go ahead and make that phone call, dude. Please do make that phone call, because when you make false accusations like this, it's going to come back on you. It's going to come back on you hard. And the things that you have done that you are so scared of everyone else figuring out, I'm terribly sorry, but a lot of people have already figured it out. A lot of people have. On kids. See, I don't have any kids anymore. Kids. Well, actually, I consider them kids because guess what? I'm 60. I'm their dad. But you know something? You guys want to sit there and make believe because I talk to my own children online that I am somehow a threat. Really good one there. Okay, let's see what else we got in the chat. Let's see. Brian King, you may be right. Been a long time since I read his conviction. Declared limitations. You see, there is no declared limitations and limits set by the registry. None. I can do whatever I fucking want. Only thing I am required to do is show them my address. That's it. But you imagine all these things that I must have done because it's... What? Well, because you don't have anything else. You're defending, quite possibly, a person that has abused children and women, cheating on them, cheating on his wife, a sex offender, only 70 years ago. A sex offender. It's called cheating. Let's see what else we got here. Unless they are part of it, Brian, that's the audit. Oh, you mean the FBI is part of... Yeah, the FBI sponsors me and a guy out of New York, both on food stamps, and your logic doesn't hold stew. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. If we were sponsored by the FBI, we'd have fucking things, and money, and our bills would be paid. We wouldn't have problems. Why? Because we're sponsored by the FBI. Okay, well, okay. Yeah, well. These guys have lost their bloody mind. Someone needs to come around and pick up the pieces here. I used to like Predator catcher channels. Oh, I bet you do. You're jealous of all those guys that are sitting there, and you're your sick fucking mind can't let it go, can it? You just love thinking about all that Vaseline, don't you, Brian King? Detective Gomez, another Vaseline and promoter. I don't recognize that name, but I saw other supposed operation names. I say supposedly because they would never confirm or deny. Well, you don't want to know something? How about this angle? How about I am working with the FBI? As long as we're working with imaginary things, I could be working with the FBI and Bird and 303 and FTP are all related. I could be working with the FBI. You want to know something? They don't even have to come to me. I find out, nor if I ever have evidence of that, you're going to have problems. Why? Because I got news for you. I don't put up with that shit. I am the worst motherfucker you want to sit there and come across. One, I've been falsely accused. Two, there are people out there such as, well, fuck the police. There are people like that. And the people like that accuse people that are not like that in order to defend themselves. Their imagination works on them. They get worried. They get scared, and they make videos like this trying to defend their position and their crimes. That's what it is. You know, these people are obviously liars. They make it up as they go. There's no question in whether or not this is complete fabrication. But the question is, why would they go to that extent of fabricating against other people? I can only think of one motivation. They're guilty themselves. They're guilty themselves. And it's very, very possible because these people, I don't look in people's windows. I don't pay attention to what the fuck they're doing. I pay attention to what I am doing. And that's all been dedicated in order to sit there and provide a safe community website that's similar to that of YouTube, but you're not censored. And the other side is, you're going to be held responsible for what you say. You're not going to be creating a sock account. Why? It costs $3 to make an account in order to be able to chat over on homenetwork.tv. We're going to make sure perverts and sickos like this do not belong to homenetwork.tv. You see, the people that are really doing the work don't have to pay attention in order to your fantasies. Okay? We're out here making a place that is actually safe for the entire family. R-rated and above is not allowed. You can go ahead and try to post that. I didn't do it. You're responsible for that. You gave up your name, agreed that you would not post anything above R-rated. You lost your $3. Ooh. Well, then go ahead and spend another $3. Spend it $3 every fucking week if you want. Until I file criminal charges against you being the webmaster. I'll let you do that for a long time. Give me that $3. I'll pay for my lawyer to sue you through that $3, man. So.
No. Where the legal line is drawn.
The legal line is drawn when you have to sit there and make believe everyone is after you. Everyone's trying to kidnap your children. And the fear is not explainable. You can't explain how come these people have such fear. You know, they do have children, the last I knew, in New York. Why would the clown be targeting Bird's children? They have children in New York. I'm pretty sure they might have one or two of them. Maybe as much as 3. But he wants to point the finger all the way to New York. Oh my God, there's kidnappers out there. Dude, what are you doing? What are you scared of? It's time in order to actually take a look at some of these sickos. and what to do about it.
Constructive fraud.
Okay.
And the fraud is built into the system.
Right.
Constructive fraud. Okay? Now, the really cool thing, the thing is, if you could ever prove constructive fraud, there's no statute of limitations on constructive fraud. Okay? When it's a fraud by a man or a woman or somebody who's done something to you, you've got, even in their statutory rules, you've got a time limit in order that you can go back and defeat them. In their own rules, constructive fraud may be exposed anytime. If I wanted to prove constructive fraud by the Constitution of the United States, I could do it today. Okay? If I could prove that constructive fraud, and there's no statute, I could do it today. So, if somebody has committed fraud on you in a constructive fraud kind of a way, while they may or may not be personally liable for it, the system is liable for it, and it vacates everything and everyone that was ever ruled against by
Well,
virtue
let's listen to
of
the
that
exceptions
particular
there, shall we?
error.
Byrd is personally responsible for it. 303 is personally responsible for it. Fuck the police is personally responsible for it. If I was a gambling man, which I'm not, if you ever catch me gambling, I've already won the bet and I know it. But if I was a gambling man, it'd be real easy in order to put my money on the police on this one. These guys are freaking out for some reason. Constructive fraud is a legal term. There is no statute of limitations. Someone clean up his website. Oh, look! Look how good of buddies these guys are.
So we're waiting for someone here shortly. Should be here.
Gonna hit other areas than what I'm in.
Right.
So
So it's not hitting where you're at though.
no, luckily it's not. It's interesting actually. They're taking pretty interesting precautions right now to avoid it crossing into the livable space that we have found out here, right? And they're doing that by cutting down large sections of forest in order to keep the flames away from jumping the highways and shit.
Right. It's a they call that a
Fire break?
break.
Oh my
Okay.
Like a
God.
break or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I knew one guy. He was a
I don't
firefighter.
know. It didn't. This is something you learn
But
in elementary
I can go at
school
what I-
with, Chucky the fire truck and stuff like that. It's fire break, okay? But as we can see, these guys have had a relationship for quite a while. Their children playing together. Look at these eyes, folks. Look at these guys' eyes. Look at the what I am seeing here myself. Look at that. Couple of messed up individuals, aren't they?
Want and choose. But I have to be able to shut the comments off. I have to be able to shut certain people out, individuals, and we have to stop the slander I felt.
Nobody slandered you, dude. You were arrested. You see, here's your real problem. See, the people that are actually doing this stuff, they're self-justified. They think that they're above the law, above God, and everything else. They're not going to go to court. They're never going to admit to anything. They're going to blame you for it instead. They're going to blame me for it. They're going to blame the police for it.
And I agree with you on that. I think that the slander, dude, is a big problem in this community. And when you're trying to be objective and you're trying to evaluate something from, we get past all that.
Right.
I think though it's important to evaluate that, you know, you were able to kind of evaluate some of that stuff, and you allowed that individual to evaluate.
Look at him search his mind. Look at him search. And look around the room. You know, there's a lot of telling things here. And it's slander. It's absolutely slander. Let's talk about fires. Oh, well, I'm worried about getting arrested because of my daughter, what I did to my daughter. Well, let's talk about fires and fire breaks today, shall we?
Evaluate some of those documents.
Right.
And then I think slowly, you know, you started realizing I'm being fed an illusion here.
You certainly have, Ben. And you're trying to feed everyone else an illusion, Liberty Bird. You know, this shit's going to stop. It's going to stop very soon. You can't continue without getting yourself caught up even more than what you're already caught up. You got yourself caught up with fucking around on your wife. You got yourself caught up associated with this guy. You know, spending weekends with him, with your children and stuff. What are you hiding?
System.
Why are you so scared of these sex offender laws, dude?
If you could prove constructive fraud, and this is what they do as a matter of course, and eventually, if you win your case, as you probably will, and go back and recruit 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 other Canadians to come and say, you know, we got pooped on in the same way, you could actually come up with a case that could prove constructive fraud and overturn and vacate all of those judgments that were ever made by virtue of that particular operation.
Okay, so let me stop right there, Greg. Greg, stop. Because like I said, I could actually tell you a case where this is a true case. Believe it or not, it's going to sound goofy, but you got to be careful when you use the fraud, like constructive fraud or fraud in the inducement or fraud in the factum. There's a difference. There's an actual case. I'm telling you, man, it's called Burrow versus the Superior Court, okay? This is a funny case. This only happened in 1985. So see if you can watch the silliness of this. The doctor, Dr. Stevens, called up the victim, okay? And he's saying that he was Dr. Stevens from the hospital and that the victim had a life-threatening disease. So he told her, he presented her, believe it or not, this is true. This ain't a joke, with two options. The first option was to have a painful surgery costing the victim $9,000. You can Google this. It's BORO versus Superior Court, 1985. Two options he gave her. He said you could have a painful surgery that cost you $9,000, or she could have sex with him, and it only cost $1,000. Okay? So the victim had intercourse with the defendant, believing at the time that her life was threatened, and that was the only choice she had to cure this horrible disease. Okay? This is true. The victim, upon learning the truth, brought the charges against the defendant for rape. Okay? The court
But it
held
wasn't
that this
rape.
Was brought into fact.
You see, it wasn't rape. She was lied to and coerced. Yeah, it's still rape, dude. It's still rape. Okay, I don't care how much you coerce your children into doing what you tell them, and you have guns and mommy's carrying a gun and all this other shit. I don't care what you coerce your children into.
And therefore there was no rape. Okay? It was for the inducement because the deception related not to the thing done, the sexual intercourse, but merely of some collateral matter, like the cure for life-threatening disease. So that's what he really did. So you got to be careful when you use fraud in the inducement or fraud in the factum. Like when you say fraud in the factum. Fraud in the factum is more misrepresentation. It causes somebody to do something without realizing the real risk, the duties, or the obligations. It's like saying that let's see, John tells it, let's say some guy tells his mom that he's taking a college course on handwriting analysis, and for his homework he needs her to read and sign a pretend deed. So his mom signs like this deed, believing that, John said he's just trying to work on his lawyer skills. And well, John really has his mom sign this blank piece of paper or this deed, and then he fills in the rest. That's fraud in effectum. Okay, that's just flat out fraud. He just had his mom say, "Oh, I'm just doing some handwriting analysis skills. Can you sign this blank piece of paper?" So she signs a blank piece of paper, and he writes, "Well, you just transferred all your property over to me." Okay, that's fraud in effectum. See.
So, fraud, sexual perversion. We seem to have plenty of sexual perversion on the internet, and I think it's time that we got rid of these characters that are promoting it and actually abusing it, and have the mindset, the mentality to dream up all of these terrible things in their heads. They're haunted by their own desires. They're haunted by their own problems. And they're telegraphing to everybody that they're a sick motherfucker. Yep. Let's see the chat, my chat here, see if anyone had telegraphing. Oh, somebody had something to say. Why does the camera look crooked? Because it's crooked. Do you even sleep last night? Are you awfully early? No, I get up, 4 o'clock every morning, dude. What are you doing up? See, I have a life. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things to do. I've got paperwork to do and legal stuff in order to prevent these people from just ransacking other people. So they're allowed to commit crimes, and as long as they can imagine everyone else committing the crime, I guess it's okay in their minds, right? As long as they can sit there and point to other people that have to be worse than they are, it's fine with them. Anyone that's looked at my case has tossed it out. Any lawyer that's looked at my case knows what happened. It's tens of thousands of dollars for a lawyer, and it's very complex in order to sit there and even file on something like this. But you want to know something? When they sit there and they make up a lie, it does come back. And you want to know something? Those lies are in record, folks. Tampered documents, things like that. But you want to know something? We don't find tampered documents with these guys confessing and responding to a threat. They think they have a threat against them. And they're responding to a threat. It's not me. After 20 years, it's been proven I'm not a threat. I'm not. I make sure things happen right. I took an oath, just like these cops. That was to the Constitution. I'm not giving up that oath. Something like this comes to my attention, which it has now. You've brought it to my attention. You've been hammering on my door for so long. Now, you have someone that is qualified in order to start digging. But when I find things, I know that they're self-authenticating. And you guys have been putting out so much material and authenticating it yourself. The psychology is easy to see. You're abusing everything around you, and you're abusing anybody around you, and the only people that you have is the people that like to watch that abuse. You're sick individuals, man. I've got other things to do than worry about you fucks. But I tell you what, you ain't got nothing to do except worry about me.